Federal immigration authorities apparently did get their hands on some data from license plate cameras in McLean County. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Wednesday, September 10th. I'm Lauren Warnicki, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with a tourist destination that honors one of Bloomington Normal's longest-serving businesses. Here's WGLT's Eric Stock.
Country Financial started providing fire and lightning insurance to its first farmer clients in 1925. Adam Rader's family was already working on the farm then.
I think back to 100 years ago when my grandparents would have been farming.
And he says they would have needed some assurances in what even then was a risky business.
And I think about the trials and the struggles that they would have endured and what having somebody who backs you and supports you in that endeavor, because everything was, it's still a risk. I mean, farming is a huge risk, and we're glad to have people who want to support us.
Rader says that backing came from Country Financial. The Bloomington Insurance and Financial Services Company is marking its 100th anniversary this year. While the company has expanded to serve nearly 1 million clients in 19 states, Chief Executive Officer Jim Jacobs says Country's roots in agriculture still run deep.
Farmers and agriculture are one of our 3 core clients. And we're very proud of that, and our farm clients are our best clients.
And Rader Family Farms, which bills itself now as an 80-acre agritainment destination in Normal, is marking that century of partnership with a new 8-acre corn maze. An aerial view of the maze shows an image of a farmer on a tractor shaking hands with an insurance agent, and Country Financial is spelled out at the top. And it's choose your own adventure. Rader says there's a less than 30-minute version and a more challenging route that's closer to 90 minutes. Rader plans to schedule some night mazes too. The family farm opens for the fall season this weekend. With reporting from WGLT correspondent Paul J. Aguilar, I'm Eric Starr.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. Republican Darren Bailey is expected to announce he's running for Illinois governor again next year. That's according to sources close to the campaign. J.B. Pritzker, who is seeking a third term, defeated Bailey by double digits in 2022. Illinois Wesleyan University is welcoming its largest incoming class in 15 years. The private liberal arts college in Bloomington added nearly 600 students. That brings total enrollment to nearly 1,700. The town of Normal plans to convert the intersection of Beaufort and Broadway to a 4-way stop starting September 16th. The intersection in front of the 2 uptown hotels has drawn safety complaints. Chestnut Health Systems is set to get over $1 million in federal funding to address drug addiction. Researchers will study how drug recovery and treatment are accessed within the criminal justice system. And OSF Healthcare has been awarded a $2.5 million grant to improve how high blood pressure is managed. OSF is one of 42 health systems in the U.S. taking part in that initiative. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The McLean County Sheriff's Department is fessing up to an error that let federal immigration agencies search their database of flock safety license plate cameras for more than 4 months this year. WGLT's Charlie Schlenker has more.
Sheriff Matt Lane has come forward to report various agencies accessed Sheriff's Department data between April and August 12th of this year, potentially for immigration reasons. Sheriff Lane says his department got the license plate reading cameras installed in April and had set them up to be searchable by other law enforcement agencies. The general notion is the more agencies you cooperate with, the more will cooperate with you. It strengthens the investigative tool.
When we did this policy, there wasn't, it was before January. We didn't have an immigration push. There wasn't, it wasn't on the forefront, right? And now it is.
In August, Flock Safety let the Sheriff's Department know an audit showed other agencies were using their camera images for immigration purposes, which cuts against Illinois law.
Within a few hours, we had everyone shut off outside the state of Illinois.
Lane says the federal agencies had been signing an online attestation that they would use the data under Illinois law, not for immigration, and then did so anyway. Lane says McLean County's cameras had up to 700 hits for license plates sought by immigration agencies over the 4-month period. To put that 700 number in scale, Lane says there had been several 100,000 searches per month. He says he doesn't have the information whether those were verified contacts.
Let's say you have a partial license plate and you put it in, that will come back as a hit. But you would then have to verify, is that the car, is that the full license plate? Is that the car I'm looking for? So we don't have that information.
Another way a false hit happens is if a license plate number is the same as the one being sought, but from a different state. What Lane suspects was happening was that Border Patrol and other immigration agencies were doing system searches nationwide.
I don't think they were targeting people in Central Illinois. I think they were casting a net, and that we were part of the net because we were cooperating with several agencies.
Also, some of the searches that could have been for immigration might not have been.
Our policy is you have to put in the reason that you're asking into flock. You have to have a legal, a law enforcement reason. And some of them had immigration in there. Some of them had 8 U.S. Code 1324. Some of them had just USBP for Border Patrol.
That U.S. Code 1324, for instance, could be for immigration. The code also covers human trafficking. Hard to tell, Lane says. With tighter access, searches are now in the hundreds.
We need to tighten up, and we did. We corrected the problem, hopefully, and we're going to monitor it closely and make sure there's no other adjustments we need to make.
Lane offers this assurance to the immigrant community.
I think there was very little useful information out of the hits that they got.
Lane says the formal policy for his department is in the revision process. He's already changed the practice, and he says he's pretty sure there are other Illinois police agencies that have the same problem, but he's not aware of any specifics. Bloomington and Normal police departments already had more restrictive policies on use of flock data that prevents the same issue. I'm Charlie Schlenker.
Before we let you go, the McLean County Board of Health meets today. On the agenda, a request for bids to expand mental health care services in the county. And that's it for today. I'm Lauren Warnicki. The show was produced by Cheyenne Brown. You can subscribe to the Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.